This is a video 5, week 5 of a meal plan ideas for you. So, you know by now that I'm a big fan of batch cooking. So you have seen step-by-step videos of how exactly I am doing the batch cooking and how you can do it too. So here we are going only through the pictures from my mobile phone that I took when I was preparing my meals so that you have ideas for this week, next week, and forever. And you are, in every video, we are repeating this trio that I want you to remember, that every single meal must have protein, fat, and fiber. And the fiber usually comes from the vegetable. You also know that you need to eat minimum 10 portions of vegetable per day. So if you eat 3 meals, in each meal, you must have at least 3 portions. And what is a portion? You already remember now. Portion is a handful. So you measure everything with your handful. So if we look at this dish, and I put my handful into it, I have there a handful of leek, handful of carrots, handful of cabbage, yeah, or maybe 2 handfuls of cabbage. So let's say that this meal has 4 portions of vegetable, which is absolutely perfect. You can see that I prepare it already in a plastic, and I have there a big piece of cheese because that's the portion that I'm going to use to have the fat and protein. And obviously I'm going to add another source of protein, which is for me like every single day, 2 eggs. Eggs are not increasing cholesterol. It has been a study 60 years ago or 70 years ago in Russia when they were feeding rabbits with eggs and the rabbits increased the cholesterol. It has never been done or shown in humans that if they eat 2 eggs per day, that it would increase the cholesterol. We also know from the science that cholesterol is made in the liver by connecting the molecules of sugar. So if you eat carbohydrates and your body doesn't need the carbohydrates because it cannot store it in the glycogen in the liver or in the muscle, it's going to be turned into triglycerides, into fat, and into cholesterol. Yeah. So the cholesterol comes from carbohydrates. It doesn't come from eggs. I just hope that there's no more clients that are going to tell me that eggs, oh, they're not eating eggs because it might increase their cholesterol. Yeah, that's why I'm so fiery around it, because like everybody tells me and it's not true. So now you know it and spread this message. So let's move to the next video. So again, preparation. So these are individual pieces of salmon that you can buy in a supermarket, and each piece is 100 grams. So we know that we are going to use the palm. So if I use the palm to cover this piece of fish, it's probably, it's okay. I could actually have 2 pieces because the other ones are quite small. So it would be a large part of the protein, because it would be 200 grams of fish, which would be minimum 35 grams of protein, which is a lot. We know that 20-20-20 is the minimum. Yeah. So for me, it would be a lot, but for a large man, it would be definitely 2 pieces, because palm of a large man is much bigger than my one. And then we have a carbohydrate here. It's a beetroot. We know that every starchy vegetable that is growing underground is collecting the sugar so that it can actually grow the greens. So it's a concentrated sugar. And we don't want to avoid sugar completely, yes? But we need to think every time when you are going to eat something, think what are you going to do with the energy. So if I eat this for dinner, the chances are that everything that I eat is going to turn into fat, because I go to sleep and my body says, well, what should I do with this sugar? So I turn it into fat and I store it for later. But if I have it, for example, for lunch, and then I'm going for a run, or I cycle, or I'm hiking or something, I'm actually going to utilize this concentrated sugar as energy as I'm moving. So it's perfect. And also, maybe you have tried the beetroot test. So you want to eat the beetroot to see how long it takes in a transit time to your intestine to eliminate it. So if you eat, again, portion, so 1 handful is 1 portion. So maybe you will eat 2 handfuls of starchy vegetable. and you have it for lunch. Will you see it in your stool the morning after 12 hours? Or is it the other morning, right? So how many hours it takes? This is very important, because then, especially if you, for example, suffer from bloating and from farting and from constipation, you have a backlog of the food. So when you are farting, you are not farting because of the food that you just ate. You are farting because you are pushing the old food down, and the bacteria in the large intestine are feeding on the food that you ate maybe 2 days ago. So this is very important for you to do this test, and then we can investigate together. This is another combination of a quick, very, very quick meal. This is mostly for, let's say, winter, because in spring and summer, we want to use fresh vegetable. But in winter, January, February, when there is no fresh vegetable, the research showed that the frozen vegetable that was harvested in a peak season actually contains more vitamins and minerals than the vegetable that we might buy in the winter in a supermarket. So for this reason, in winter, I buy only frozen vegetable. I don't buy anything that is fresh. So this is a mixture of a green vegetable. I mix it with this real vegetable stock. I highly recommend this company. You can buy it online, and there are no nasties in it. It's really only vegetable. 1 spoon or 2 spoons, little bit of water, and you have a lovely soup. And then with the soup, when you mix it all together, you can garnish it with some protein. This is how I prepare beetroot hummus. So you take a can of chickpeas, but remember, this is only for people that are not bloated. If you are bloated, if you have irritable bowel disease, if you have Crohn's disease, if you have ulcerative colitis, if you have like any inflammation in your gut, this is not food for you. Yeah, this is only for healthy individuals. So chickpeas, beetroot, garlic, which is bloating, salt, lemon juice, and you mix it, and it looks like this. And it looks like that. So the other one is actually from nightshade vegetables. So again, for people who have rheumatoid arthritis or any kind of arthritis or any autoimmune disease, they want to avoid nightshade vegetable. Aubergine, peppers, tomatoes, and potatoes, right? This is the list of a no-go. But for us, people that don't suffer from autoimmune disease, we can enjoy. So this is called baba ganoush, and it's made from roasted aubergines. So you find it like everywhere on internet. How to make it is actually very easy. You just basically roast the aubergine and then you mix it in a machine. Yeah, nothing difficult. And that's very easy to store. And here I actually want to show you what I do to increase the protein. So sometimes I make a soup. So this is a coconut milk. And why coconut milk? Because we have there ketones. This is direct ketones from the coconut. It's a fat. It's a pure fat with vegetables. So this is like spinach, carrots, and everything. And then I add their extra protein into the boiling water, into the machine. I put 3 eggs, and then I process it all together. So the heat is going to warm up the eggs, and it's going to make it creamy. Obviously, you don't need to do this. If you are vegan, instead of the eggs, you would, for example, roast some tofu. And when you process the soup, you can put the tofu on the top of it, or you can sprinkle maybe roasted pumpkin seeds on the top of the soup to add extra protein. This I bought on internet. I wouldn't buy it again, but if you absolutely love granola, if you go camping, if you want some like sweet treat, this one is actually made from the coconuts and a raw cacao. It was okay. I bought it on Amazon. I think it's a good company. It says it has only 3 grams of sugar. It actually had agave sugar. I am not a big fan of agave syrup because it's just processed food, but it's not bad. Yeah. Here is another example of breakfast. So it's spinach. So how many portions of vegetable do we have there? How many cubes of spinach? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 handfuls of spinach. and 2 large salmons. So that would be actually a portion for 2 people. I think I ate it on my own. Yeah, frozen vegetable. Again, if you want a quick breakfast, quick lunch, quick dinner, whatever you put there. How many portions? At least 3 portions of vegetable, and you need to add some protein. Yeah, so this was this mix I buy it in Germany, in Marktkauf. I love this mixture. Actually, this company Frosta, they have really nice combinations. There are no nasties. There are, you can see it's ungewürzt. So there is no spices in it. I add my own. These are mini avocados bought from crowd farming, because they are growing these trees, and the trees did not develop yet into the size that the supermarkets would accept. So they are selling them to us normal human beings, and they're asking for support. And I'm going to roast the almonds in the oven for 10 minutes for extra protein. So I am a big fan of Picard. It's a shop in France, and I buy there all this frozen vegetables. So this is always in my freezer. And when I need to make any quick meal, now you know that it's at least 3 portions of vegetable, in my case usually 4 or 5, and then some portion of salmon. So I usually buy this salmon or fish. This you can buy in France. It's very popular. It's called galette de sarrasin, which means it's grano di saraceno in Italian. In English, it's buckwheat. In German, it's Buchweizen. So it's the grain that I recommend because it's gluten-free and it's high in rutin and it's very high in all the minerals. And it's basically like a pancake. So if you buy it in a supermarket, you just fill it with protein, vegetable, and fat. You can see here is, again, avocado, green leafy vegetable to balance the acidic of the protein and the alkaline. And it's a very quick lunch. That's how it looks. This is a buckwheat babovka, right? It's a, I have this beautiful form, Kugelhopf, they call it in Alsace. And I use raw cocoa, eggs, MCT oil. So MCT oil is from a coconut, but it's purified. It's very expensive. You can buy it on Amazon. If you follow me on Instagram, you will see all the pictures of all the products that I buy, but you can buy it like anywhere in any supermarket as well. So that's what I use as a source of fat. And I usually don't use any liquid, but I will maybe grate their zucchini or grate their apples, because that gives it the moisture. Or I squeeze 2 lemons and I put there the lemon juice. So I don't use, maybe occasionally I would use kefir or yogurt or something that passed the time, and I'm using it for cooking. And you can freeze it easily. These are protein pancakes with some frozen berries. In general, look, I love pancakes, but let's be honest, it takes enormous amount of time to make like 5 or 6 pancakes. So this is maybe only for Saturday. What I do sometimes when I'm not patient enough, so the pastry from the pancake, I just put there extra collagen powder. You saw the collagen powders that I buy, and I put berries on the top of it, and I just bake it in the oven like a cake. So it's much faster, and then I have it for the breakfast or when I go camping. Yeah, so this is, it's all nearly repetitive, but it will give you the ideas. So spinach, eggs, and avocado. This is a large salad. So you can see it's not a normal plate, it's a large plate. And when you buy this pre-washed salad, it's usually 80-100 grams. So I eat the whole 80-100 grams. Because if you were to boil those 80-100 grams and then you would squeeze the water out of it, it's actually only 1 handful. So what happens in your stomach, even though this looks like a massive quantity, in your stomach, it's going to be small like this. Yeah. And then I put there pepper. So many people cannot digest pepper. It stays in the stomach even for 5 hours. It's very difficult to digest it. So it's a little trick. If you want to stay full for longer, you just have pepper for your lunch. Don't have it for dinner, because you are going to have like bad dreams and burping the pepper and stuff like this. And then you add there some extra protein. So these are pumpkin seeds because they are very high in zinc. and almonds. And then you make dressing from the functional medicine cookbook. And if you are into fresh juices, if you are following the moon cycle, and therefore you are fasting on every full moon, every half moon, and every new moon, so 4 times in a month you are fasting, then this is what I would recommend. You can actually see that I have that avocado and mint, because I juice the celery, cucumber, and lemon, ginger, and some apples. So I juice it, but then I put it into the Vitamix and mix it with avocado. In that way, I have fulfilling smoothie, because just juice is very hard if you are starting. And I also add there green barley. So this powder is a green barley, but you can also use spirulina, chlorella. They are detoxifying the kidneys and liver, and they're relatively high in minerals and even some B12 or B vitamins. This is how it looks. I prepare it for like 3 days, because obviously nobody wants to prepare it every single day. And these are products that I mix into the pancakes. So it's hemp seed flour, because it's very high in protein and it's really good for vegans. Almond flour, I buy it in Amazon. And Brain Boost, it's really great powder. Maybe you have seen some of the videos on YouTube where I actually help to promote it to this lovely lady from Basel. Chris is her name, and she's from New Zealand. And she developed this product, and as you can see, it has many amazing products. So it has berries, and it actually has Johannisbeeren, which is the red currant and black currant. This one is actually black currant. And it has enzogenol, which is a pine bark, and pine bark is a super antioxidant. So against the cancer, against the inflammation. It has omega-3, but these ones are from algae, and it has B vitamins, and it has natural source of iron, because there is a beetroot. So you can mix it into yogurt, into smoothies, and you can get quite a large discount if you mention my name and if you use my code. I think the code is Blanca 10% or something like this, but you can find it on my website, or you can send me an email and I will send you the code. So this is how I make pancakes. Everything that you have seen on the previous picture, I mix. There is also maca powder and the protein. I mix it like this and I make pancakes. Yeah. So it's even biokefir, maca powder, collagen. And here is a green barley that I recommend doing it for 3 weeks. The only thing that you will notice is that it starts to purify the skin. So all the toxins are coming out of the skin. I did it recently and I had a rash, because this is a digestive tract. I had a rash all over my face for 2 months. So this is very uncomfortable, but it's basically knowing that the body is purifying. Okay, that's enough for this video, and tune into the next one.